2 parts. At least 2 parts. 3 parts. 4 parts. Okay, beyond that, you can just give the workshop, so that's good. So we won't go beyond that, you're good. You're good. So perhaps we'll go through some basics, and then as soon as we move, well, we'll just move forward. And I'll just check on with you, how you feel and where you are at. So we will do some vocal techniques, we'll do some conducting techniques, and then we'll look at some pieces that we will do this afternoon in the bigger workshop. So I will be counting on you as the leaders of that big choir. So things can be learned in a very nice way. So I think that let's start with a warm-up. It seems, well, actually I heard you sing. You're all warmed up, right? Okay, let's pretend we're not. So we'll do a quick warm-up, just to share some ideas. So if you can, please stand up. And perhaps you haven't stretched this morning. And keep your jaw loose as you stretch, and you just move a little bit just to feel yourself, to start to feel, and don't go beyond what's comfortable for you. This is not a competition. It's not an athletic exercise. We're not going to run the marathon. This is just to find yourself in your body. And exhale nicely. It's just to feel a connection all the way down to your heels and all the way down to your feet. So let's roll our shoulders back and always feel your entire body when you do that. Every little part contributes in this motion, and roll your shoulders forward. Good. Let's do a tiny little more stretch if you can. We'll just stretch with one arm on the side, just to open the rib cage on that side. Try to breathe comfortably. If you're not comfortable, you're making it too hard for yourself. Connect all the way from your feet to the end of your hand. Exhale. Shake it out. If you can, do it the other side. Only if that's good for you. Treat yourself nicely and breathe. The breath is really essential. And come back. Good. Let's open your face. Good. Oops. Cannot do that, right? Yeah. Find your breath. Just breathe wherever that is. Connect with yourself. How are you standing? Try to create space in your body. Good. And we'll just take a gentle breath and expand here with your hands. We'll just go. And again. This is just to encourage the moving of your ribs here. The next one we will do, we'll try to just lip trill. So it will sound like this. So let's do that. Okay, now without the motion of your arms, can we actually practice that little lip trill? For some people it will take me 3 weeks. That's fine. For others, it's like, oh yes, I'm finding my lips. If you're good at trilling, to trill an R, to roll an R, which I'm not. I sound like, I don't know, French or Spanish or something. But if you're good to go trello, trello, you can roll an R for this exercise. Or you can do, bring the corner of your lips close, have space in your mouth, and on the exhale, experiment with up and down. Let's do that. Yes. Don't exhaust yourself. Don't go so far that you become dizzy. There's no team to pick you up from the floor today. So just look after yourself. So this is the first thing I do, connecting the breath. And of course, some of you will be familiar with exercises such as inhale on 2, exhale on 4. That's kind of a classical, right? So I'm not going to use that. But lip trill connects the breath to your voice, and it's a very nice way to wake up the voice. If you have Sunday morning choirs and you feel that they need that, that's very good. Let's just do good morning. Let's just do a little bit of those from C sharp, please, and we'll do. Just to cover more range. So here we go, and breathe. And let's go to the next D, and very nice, and breathe comfortably. And once more. Breathe in again. Yes, and even if you're in a low voice, it's amazing how we can go higher with that little lip trill. So in the morning is very, very useful. It just clears out a lot of different things. So welcome to use that. Let's do something else. Let's just have a nice yawn and use your arm. And again. Now don't use your arm. Here we go. Use your arm again. Your sound is freer with your arm because your body is participating. So as much as I can, I use a lot of arm movement and body movement just so the voice doesn't go shy and go, ugh, no, I cannot do this, right? So let's do the opposite. We'll do ooh, and ooh. If you can, because you have the benches there, bend your knees to begin with. Here we go. Ooh, and down. Ooh, and up again. Ooh. Sorry, everyone disappeared here. Sorry, guys. Someone will come and let me know how to put it on again. Okay. Sorry, I'll be careful. It's just my first time with those. That kind of. They are very tricky. Sorry, people on Zoom. Just to throw you on the ground. We didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now you feel already more alive and your face is more open. This is wonderful. Let's have perhaps C sharp, please. And we'll do Z, 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 here we go. Z, Z, So we'll do it twice. Z, Z, here we go. Breathe. Z, Z. Wow, and you have a beautiful accompaniment. That's wonderful. So where do we take our energy? And that is in the Z, in the consonants, connected with your exhale. So let's say once, after an inhale, we'll go Z and Z. Aha, you see that energy? Put it in our little scale. So let's breathe again and sing. And Z, Z, and again Z, Z, and again Z, Z, That's very good. That's very good. Let's use our arm just to see if we throw our sound further out this time. So perhaps we'll go back to E flat to make it comfortable. Yeah. So as we go out and breathe. Z, 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 Z. Hold the long note. Z, Z, a little longer. Z. And again, Z, Z, and quicker, Z, Z, and again, Z, amount of voice you have, you guys? Amazing. So again, just using a gesture, it seems that we're less conscious of, oh, I'm going to be heard, I'm using my voice. That's not good. So make them moving. And every time, especially for sopranos and tenors, every time you reach a high note, to bend your knees. It just makes you relax and find your ground. So that's really nice. Let's do something else. Let's do another exercise. For vowel shape. So let's go in D major, please. So we'll simply do simply nu, o, a, e. Let's say it once. Nu, o, a, e. Right, so you notice the opening of the mouth, more close at the beginning. Ooh, little opening, o, more opening, ah. Keep that space. And then E, bring the corners of your lips together. So that's a nice sequence to warm up a choir. Ooh will give you depth in the sound and height as well. And you, I don't know if you, no, you don't have that sequence perhaps in your handout.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
We do.
Oh, wow, not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, so we will simply do perhaps in a comfortable range again in D major. Please, thank you. And breathe. And breathe again. Yes, bring your fingers for E. Yes, feel yourself, feel yourself. So use your index fingers and just say E, 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 E. Yes, yes, very good. Try to open your mouth the opposite direction. Say E with a big smile for your dentist. Here we go. E. Now, E. Yes. And if you want to know, I'm not a singer, so I don't pretend here at all. I'm not telling you that I'm a voice specialist. But we have a vocal track, what we call the vocal track, from your vox box or your larynx all the way to the tip of your lips. And believe it or not, to flare the lips, just like the bell of a trumpet, that makes that vocal tract a little longer, and this is where will help to project your sound. And when we do E, like that, like at the dentist, like that, close your jaw together, E, then we shorten that. So this is why I sound E, E. Not bad for a non-singer. You see, so that means everyone can do it, if I can make a difference. So let's do a couple more of that. I don't know where we left it at. Ooh. A lot of space in your mouth as we go. Ooh. Let's go. Ooh. Like you have a sandwich in your mouth. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, you swallowed the bite. Now we are ready. There's some space in there. And let's go. Ooh. Yes. Just relax a little bit, breathe well, and let's go ooh, and ooh. Yeah, did you see that lovely sound? Just by creating space on that first note. Keep the space. Ooh. You keep that space as much as you can. Here we go, and ooh. Yes, one last, and beautiful. I don't know if you listen around. It's very, very beautiful. This is great. So did you want that we do some exercise that I have on my handout? We'll keep some from this afternoon. Let's go do, perhaps we could take care of the lower voice. voices. So let's say, iya, iya. Let's say that. Iya. Good. And now let's say ya, ya. So just make your, that thing is alive. Yes. I don't know if they hear it, probably, even if it's in the middle of my face. Doesn't matter. So now say ya, ya. It's just for you to notice that the ya begins with the e, ya, ya. So let's say just ya again, ya, and now ia, ia. That will also bring more sound in your choir, just to group your lips first for that sound. And now for going down, we'll simply do ya. That might be too high. Can we have it like an F major? Or is that, oh, that's it? Yeah. Okay, let's begin. Ya. Here we go. Yes, we all have a soft palate there somewhere. The soft palate is where can exhale quickly and feel some cool air hitting a spot at the back of your mouth. So just breathe in quickly and feel where that cool, cold air hits a spot in your mouth. Here we go. Did you feel it? You have a little puff of air that hit the roof of the mouth. Let's do it again. Okay, this is basically where your soft palate is. And I don't want you to start to, put your fingers in there because it might be uncomfortable. So, and that little soft palate, that's why it's called soft, can be raised a little bit. So now let's go with the mouth very relaxed and go, what is our C pitch again, please? Yo! Here we go. Yo! Yeah. Some of you cannot, they're such good singers, they just cannot do that. And now, raise that little soft palate. Sometimes I say to my choir, you have a little umbrella in your mouth. So your tiny umbrella, which doesn't have a sharp tip, very soft. Very soft umbrella. You open the little umbrella, create that space there. So let's go. Yeah. Here we go. Create space. Yeah. Yes, much more rich just by opening up that little trap there of the soft palate. So that's very useful. Something else that I like to do is shape the hand. Like is the space of the jaw that I need. So if we go down to E major, and we'll go, yo, put your hand here. With your little soft palate raise as you breathe in. Here we go, inhale. Yo. Very good, let's keep going down. Yo. Same thing, relax your tongue. Yo. Distance far. Yeah. Keep the same sensations. Yeah. You can also put the flat part of your hands on your cheeks. Yeah. Don't forget to raise the soft palate. Yeah. Keep the sensations. Yeah. If you feel you need it, go ahead. Yeah. Just for the low voices if you want. Yeah. Only if you need it, go ahead. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So all those things, I find those physical sensations, they help a lot. Otherwise, the voice is all inside and it's very, I find, a little abstract. Okay, let's move to another one, just to exchange the range. So we'll start with E. So let's find the corner of our lips and we'll go E-ah, E-ah, E-ah. Here we go. E-ah, E-ah, E-ah. So we'll simply do, let's start on B flat perhaps this time. Mi-ah, mi-ah, mi-ah. Let's try that. Mi-ah, mi-ah, mi-ah. Yes, that's very good. So, yeah, do you want to stand for this one? It's stand. It's just the beginning of the day, right? Kind of. Yes. So, yes, here we go with a nice breath. And Mia, 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 oh, and again, Mia, 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 oh, Mia, Mia, Mia. Conduct yourself. Mia, Mia, Mia. Conduct big orchestra. Mia, Mia, Mia. Conduct yourself again. Mia, Mia, Mia. And once more. Mia, Mia, Mia. And one last time. Mia, Mia, Mia. Good. Singing is physical. That's beautiful. Yes. So I think that will be all for now for warm-ups. And I'll try to do different ones this afternoon. Some that are more also on this sheet, or others, not sure, we'll see. And then you'll just have some suggestion. Let's go into conducting, if that's okay with you. So, anytime you need to go get some water, you need the washroom, just go and do it. Instead of asking you, when is the break, when is the break, when is the break? I thought we could have a little break in another half hour or so. I realize now you've been here since 9, and my schedule was like 9:30, but you've been active since 9, right? So, but if you need something, you just go and look after yourself. Conducting. I guess we'll need to stand up for that. Let's stand up for that. Unless you conduct seated. Are some of you doing seated on a higher bench or something?
Well, from the piano.
Ah.
Some stands if you want.
Well, no, for now we're fine. Thank you. But let's pretend that you stand for conducting. Let's stand. And if you're tired, you sit down. How about that? Easy? And then when you're rested, you stand up again. So let's just go with our kind of basic 4-beat pattern. How is it that you do that? So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then you have a prep gesture, and we go into a 4-beat pattern. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. And you conduct your 4-beat pattern. Okay, let's have a little pause. For a little refresher here, just if you need a little refresher, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So join me, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Switch to 3-beat pattern. 1 to the right and up, down, right, up, down, right. And now switch to 2-beat pattern. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Good. Very good. So I wasn't watching you this time. Let's do it again, and we'll just do a few things with it. Let's go back to the 4-beat pattern, comfortable tempo, a little slower than that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Notice if your shoulder is open. Notice if you're relaxed. Notice if you're connected with your entire length in your back, all your length there. Notice where is your elbow. You stop anytime you get tired, please. Where is that elbow? Is it near your body? Is it far from your body? Are you conducting like far in front of you? Are you conducting close to you? Now in the next downbeat, you will lead with your third finger. Here we go. Third is leading, 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 leading. Up, third finger, third finger, third finger. Yes. Some of you, perhaps you could try to relax your elbow. Lead with the third finger, third finger. Don't do anything fancy with your hand. It won't do. Yes. Okay, let's stop here. Good, good, good. Well, this is what I learned and I find very helpful. That if we lead with the tip of our third finger here, the rest pretty much will fall into place. As if we try to maneuver the elbow or the forearm or that kind of business, it will just get in the way. So if you can think about that all the time, and it places the wrist where it should be. Well, I think where it should be. So you have one clear marker for the pulse is right there, rather than something like that that will just disturb your singer. I didn't bring my baton, but if you conduct with the baton, then you would consider that the tip of the baton leads. So if you have a pencil with you and you like to conduct, I didn't think about that at all. But you could take a pencil just to experiment that it's actually the tip of the baton that leads, and not your wrist, if at all possible. Now, because I teach instrumentalists and students that will teach in high schools bands or choir, the band student arrived to me and, you know, they're really good. They put that beat over there, da, 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 but then they don't want to use the baton with me. They said, well, you're choir. And then that hand comes really close to them. I said, no, this becomes your baton. It still has to be extended a little bit without having you be like that. Are you okay with that? Yes? Okay. Cues. So we'll breathe. We'll keep our 4-beat pattern. I think it's a good one. We'll just review a little bit of cues. Cues when a prep beat and when you enter. So if I do it on the 3rd beat, it will look like 1, I breathe, 3, 4, 1, 3. So let's do that. Here we go. 1, breathe, cue. 1 and cue. 1 and cue. Breathe on the 2nd beat. Here we breathe. Cue. Extend your arm. Yes, okay, that is becoming boring. Let's do it again. Now switch to 3-beat pattern next time. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now cue on 1. 1. Cue on 3. 3. 1. Cue on 3. 3. Breathe. 1. Cue on 3. 3. Good. Okay, you can all do that. So what do you need? As I see it, and you're all doing it, you need your prep gesture, you need the breath. If something else, anything else, you need your breath, and your eye contact. So you cannot have your eyes in the score, right? Right? Right. Promise to yourself, I'm not going to have my eyes in the score when I conduct. Very good. Okay, let's do, I don't know for you about your left hand if it's very expressive or it has a life on its own. You want your left hand to have a life on its own, right? I think. To be expressive. So let's do a few exercises. Perhaps we can have a seat so you can rest 1 second. Don't hit the pew in front of you now with the next thing that we will do, because it hurts, right? The knuckles and things. So be careful where you put your movement. We'll do with your left hand a little circle. So let's get your left hand going with a little circle. Let's go all in the same direction. Let's go outward. Little circle. Can you increase the speed a little bit? Increase the speed a little bit. Let's have that have a life on its own. So with your left hand, you're just creating that little circle. Now with your right hand, you will just do a big circle much slower. Much slower. Yes, and that left hand is going. But the right hand is just going slower. When I started to teach conducting in English, I could not do that and speak English. That was too much. It's like, let me do 2 things, but not 3. Good. Now, your left hand, bring it inward. Continue with your right hand. Slow. Slow. Good. Good. That's very good. So then to become expressive in music, you'll have your independence there. Let's do the opposite with your other hand. So we'll have the right hand going inward this time. Fast, fast. And your left hand will create slow, big circles. Is that easier? Yes. Oh, I'm glad we started the other way. Yes, very nice. Oh, you're too good. Can you carry a conversation with someone? Carry a conversation? Without disturbing your movement? Yes, I know. Good, very nice. Let's, can you contribute to an example? You can? Okay, let's face each other, please. Good. So, and can you step one? Yes, okay. I will group you 2 by 2 for this next one, but just watch. So we will just do that crescendo, the classic crescendo, decrescendo, that kind of thing. But sometimes depending on your experience, it can be a little tricky. So can you raise this hand? So I'm just to show everyone. Let's be a little bit like that so everyone can see. And so as I crescendo, she will have a little resistance for me and she will bring her arm closer to her. Oh, she's too strong. Closer to you. Yes. Yes, let me do my crescendo. You do a decrescendo now. Now crescendo, and I'm doing a decrescendo. And decrescendo again, I'm doing a crescendo. And I'm doing diminuendo, you crescendo. And we'll carry our 1, 2, 3, 4 with the other hand. So, can you take your, yes. So let's have our 4-beat pattern going first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I crescendo, and I diminuendo, and now you crescendo, and now I crescendo, and you crescendo. Yes. Let's get in pair of 2. Do you understand what I'm doing? Yes? Try that. That might be too easy for everyone. Do you think it's too easy? It is tricky? Good. Well, thank you. Is it working? Yeah. Hey people, you can slow down your crescendo and doing it over 2 bars and decrescendo over 2 bars. You can do, a very small and carry it over 2 measures. And then slow down the diminuendo over 2 measures, over 2 times 4 beats. You can if you want to, sure. Yeah, super. Yeah, it would make sense. Yes. Suggestion to change the size of your right hand, which makes lots of sense. I didn't want to give you too much. You can change the side of your right hand as you go bigger. And then,
As you get bigger, as you get louder.
yeah, of course, of course. I was just on the left hand, that's
I
why.
have a question about using this forward motion for crescendo. It's not something that I tend to do size and
It's just a basic exercise.
you can see the difference there.
Yeah, you're right. It's just the idea of gaining some independence, and then you bring it in any direction. Yes. It's just, I guess you're more advanced than I thought. Yeah, it can be good for...
Doing it for years.
Yes. Okay, are you good? Let's have a seat. Yes, all the suggestions that came in are excellent. And of course, I'm trying to gear it so everyone will find something. So that is actually pretty basic. It's just to find the independence of your two arms. Once you have the independence of your two arms, of course, then you vary the size of your right hand. Then you just find other gestures, right? You find all kinds of gestures with your left hand. So that was just a little basic kind of, to wake up the brain. Let's look into one piece of music. I think that would be good, and then we could use more score study or whatever. Let's pull out Nothing Gold Can Stay. So we can stay seated just to read it, and yeah, okay. So in terms of level of reading the music for your choirs, I'm pretty sure you have a variety of levels, right? So with less experienced choirs, I tend to go right away with the text, unless you have the time to teach them either movable do or fixed do, or I don't know if you are getting into those things with your community or church choirs. So if not, so you know best how to approach your choir, if it's with text or not. So since that you are more advanced, of course you're more advanced than your choir, let's go on DDD, just on the neutral syllable DDD, just the first 8 bar or 9 bar perhaps. So here's our yes. And good. The reason I'm using DDD as a neutral syllable, because it's very easy, and if you have more advanced choirs, it will allow you to hear the music better than with text, and to clarify tone and clarify, to have everyone sing really, really in beautiful unison in their section. And it also helps a lot with the clarity of rhythm, that sometimes the words won't work. So at this point, shall we sit in sections so we could do little things? Do you mind to move? So yeah, I should have thought about that before we did the reading. Sorry, I'm slow. So it must be the time change. So let's have soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. It can be 3, 4 rows, whatever you feel comfortable, 3 rows. So shall we have some sopranos over here, or you will all fit over here? Whoops. Yeah, or is it better, depending on how we are, soprano, alto, tenor, bass? Is that better for the formation that we have? Let's have sopranos in the first 2 rows, or 3 rows if we need. Let's have sopranos. Let's fill the pews right from the front. Sopranos, sopranos, altos, altos, and perhaps we'll have tenors there and basses there. That might be better. I'm just trying to be practical with, I would do a circle normally. So now you're going back to your initial spot. Sorry, guy. Yeah. Do you want to come here instead, though? Perfect. Yes. Or we could put it on a step. We could bring that step there. No, you're good. Okay, very nice. Stephanie Martin. Stephanie Martin is a composer from Ontario. So some of you will know of her. A very successful, very talented composer and musician altogether. I think she teaches music at York University, and yeah, and she had quite a famous choir. Mary Magdalene, is that her in Toronto? Yeah. So, and she wrote that, and this has become nothing gold can stay, a kind of a national hymn, if I can say. I was at Podium in 2022 probably, because before, yes, and then the National Youth Choir started their concert with that piece. And of course, next September, everyone was doing it. So the high school choirs in Manitoba, some university choirs, we were all, oh my gosh, this is so well written. So that's a beautiful piece to begin in September. So, yes. And if you want to order it, just be a little bit ahead of time with Renfort Music. I think it's a small house of publication. Yeah, okay, here we go with our DDD again. So I'm going to take it as it's written in 4, but many times we end up conducting this in 2. So we'll see what happens. Let's keep it in 4 for now. On D, and... And alto. Very nice. So of course you're more advanced, but what I do with my choirs, and actually even with my chamber choir, one of the first thing is to sing with a buddy without moving. Create little teams in the choir so you tune to the other person, and I find it clarifies the texture, and it's a very easy thing to do with any levels of choir. So now, depending if you are at the end of a row, but otherwise, let's say we all listen and sing with the person to our right. Still on DDD. Yes. So, and that begins with the breath. That we breathe together and we start that first note together in perfect unison. Okay, here we go. So. Yes, very good. Let's do it a cappella so we can hear even more. So you audiate that first note. You know that audiating means singing that first pitch in your head. So you breathe with that in your mind, and you breathe with the other person, and sing in unison there. Here we go. 1, 2. And carry altos here. Nice. Thank you. Did you hear what it did? You were too busy listening there. It clarifies the texture. It became so transparent and so clean. So that's very easy to do for your choirs. I use that all the time. Sing with your body there. If you notice a string section in an orchestra, right? What do? They go like that and they play, and their ears, the rest of them too, are so busy listening to the entire section and blending with that section all the time. You see it in their eyes, how much they listen to, because they have no rehearsal time, right? Less than church choirs. So that's the goal of that. And using the little DDD, it really clarifies the rhythm. Oh, yeah.
Do you ever find that if let's say, Barb and I are paired together, and if she doesn't know the note and I don't know it, everything goes slower because we're trying to check which note it is?
Right. Well, then perhaps you can have your most experienced person in the middle. Something else that I won't have you do is I usually, if there's a space, I rehearse in circle rather than in rows. I find it builds community. And also having those sections facing each other, they can hear better. If they watch the basses, they can finally hear that bass line. And that makes a big difference. I find that even in my unexperienced first-year choir, because still, crossing my fingers, in our program, all the first years sing in a choir. But that's, I'm sure it will go away. But at some point, right? That first year thing. But it's so important to them. So they come and they haven't sung in a choir in a high school, and it's like, what is this? Do I have to do this? Yeah. So I put them in circle, and sometimes, I don't want to make generalizations, sometimes the bass section, because they play sometimes a treble instrument, so they don't read bass clef so well, I position them right by the piano. I don't tell them that's the reason. I just organize the room and they end up there. So they hear the bass line way more often than everybody else. And something else that I do that I just discovered over time is play that bass line in octave. So people who don't match pitch, and I don't know the science behind, I'm sorry, they hear a series, probably they hear the fundamental of that harmonic series way more solidly. That's my guess. So they will hear that low note and suddenly they can match pitch. But if they don't have that, and with young basses that haven't sung, they haven't found their voice after the voice change. They don't know where they are. So they need to always kind of be reassured. But anyway, so I have the bass line there. Or something else that I find very useful, bass section, can you come to the front, please? So in a circle, I could do that. Let's pretend we are a circle. Just stand right in front of the choir. We'll still do DDD. So, I'm sorry, we put you there. This is not because you're handsome. It's because you sing the bass line. But you are anyway. So now, sing on DDD. Pay attention to the bass line if you are able to. So that might be above your experience, but whoops, you're there. Okay, so let's do that on DDD. Pay attention to that bass line. 1, 2, and we'll do it a cappella. A lot of bass line. Have a delicate, you sing really well. You could sing, all of you, like, much more. Do you want to try and sing more?
Always sing more.
Good, keep doing it. Keep doing that. Just the first 4 bar. Go mighty basses. With a cappella, and Good. It makes an effect to relate to the bass. You start to understand what it is you are singing harmonically. Thank you. That was a beautiful demo. You can go sit again. Bravo. So in my score study, when I'm preparing my rehearsal, I look at that bass line really, really closely to understand its role. And then because I teach to students, sometimes I explain to them, okay, what they are, on the tonic, or they carry that modulation or whatever. But I do that with every part. So if you have a little bit of background in chords and things, and then I will use that to do some tuning with the choir. So for example, if we do the first 4 bars with soprano and basses only, so I couldn't have the basses like stand here for 20 minutes. But if you're in a circle, you're everyone is there. So let's have just the beginning until measure 4, just bass and sopranos. Still a cappella. Sing so sopranos can hear you. Here we go. Carry on. Beautiful. Well, you're so good. My points cannot come across. It's to show the choir where those octaves are and approach them. And you could decide 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end of bar 4, which section will crescendo first. If you always have the sopranos crescendo first, that will hear the sopranos the most, right? But if you have the other one crescendo quicker and the sopranos crescendoing a little slower, you will hear the richness of the harmony. So sometimes breaking in parts, this is what I like to do. Let's hear soprano and tenors to see the relationship of that. And then perhaps I'm sure you'll have some comments about that. I talk too much. Can you give the pitches again? Still on the end. Thank you. You sing so well. Gosh, I'm going to be back every week. What do we hear? How can we describe the rapport, the relationship? Can we say something about that? I'm looking at motion of lines. Do you want to hear it again? Hear it again. Let's hear it. Sorry. So let's listen to the direction of the melodies. Are they moving in the same direction or not? What is it that they're doing? Is the tenor part sometimes higher than the soprano or not? Just asking. So let's start that again, soprano and tenor. And isn't that beautiful? Do we have any comments about that?
I would say to bring out in bar 3 when the tenors move up, just to bring out that dissonance there.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And I'm pretty sure everyone noticed the parallel motion between the lines, right? So I find this out, of course, in my score study, and then I bring it to rehearsal because it has to serve a purpose. I'm not just in my study room, oh, this is pretty neat. No, it's interesting to the choir to know that because they will sing it with purpose and they know how they relate. So that's what I become passionate about relationships of parts. That's all I do in my score study. How do they relate? Who has the lead? What's the role of the other parts? And then I share it with the choir, and then it empowers them and they have a music intention in addition to carrying the message of the text and all of that. Like we're strictly talking about the notes and chords here. So that's and when you have a great composer like Stéphanie Martin, it's all there for you. And because the tenor part is written that's the tradition in choral music, right? If you look Haydn, Mozart, Handel, there's a lot of tenor parts above the sopranos. That's the way the music has evolved from your medieval time with your early motets, having the tenor leads. Actually, the word tenor, tenir, it means to hold. So everything was built around that. So it remained an important part. And then the basses was, because everything was contrapuntal, and then the bass became more important as a harmonic role there. So I really like to relate all of that and share it with singers. Then they know how to approach their line. And it's fun. I think it's fun anyway. I don't know about you, but I think it's fun. So I decided it's fun. So now, basses, we know they have the harmonic role. So you want to sing like you're the foundation of that. It's kind of a motet here as well. So a lot of presence with the basses. Always, always. And what I like is crescendo when the basses go low. So you will find it opens up the whole texture of any music. Suddenly you hear the perspective of that thing. So let's experiment with that. You're probably tired of DDD, but you will find in your choirs that you will have better unison in each section, and then it will be cleaner. And then people will say, oh my gosh, what a great choir. Even on something that is not advanced music, they will just sing it really well. It will come out, or I don't know. Yeah, you will hear it. Perhaps you want to hear, well, let's do once more with DDD. I would like you to hear the two crescendos that the basses will sing, because they have 2 times a downward motion, right? Pa, pa, di, da, da, da. They will be very expressive there. And they will also be very expressive. Di, dum, pa, di, da, da. Let's hear that, but we'll sing 4 parts, but pay attention to that.
So are you saying the crescendo will come out because of the range, or you'd like us to crescendo when we go down?
I would like you to crescendo because, as you go down. Yes, a little bit of your operatic tone there.
Not just here, but generally.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you first to tell my basis.
Try it. What did he say?
I said that's risky to tell my basis. Oh, because they love to stick themselves loud.
Well, yeah, but you will teach them how to use their natural tone and not put one on, right?
That was really good.
Yes.
But also, in my experience, I find that the bass line disappears if you don't have them intensify as they drop.
Right.
Because they do disappear. The overtones shrink, and they need to compensate for that. And
I have one of my voice majors, because I'm not a singer, and she looked at the basses because they're young basses and they don't have the low notes. And then she says, sing them more nasal. Oh my gosh, and it worked. So perhaps it takes away from that, and it goes a little bit like that, but you compensate the color.
It's even just keeping the palate stretched as you go down.
Yeah.
Because as basses, when we have these deep voices, we sing in our throat and it sounds huge inside, but the sound
It's too far back and just lift it there. Well, you know.
But the altos have the same problem. I find that they get flat because they're just...
The altos is because most of them are sopranos. So,
I have a question.
can I just finish on this one? On the topic of the altos, and then we'll go to your question?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll forget. If you conduct, let's say, an all-woman voices, or if you think in your choir, it will disturb them a lot. But if you mix soprano and altos, and you go, okay, for those two pieces or whatever, you're the sopranos, you're the altos. Because what happens is that in the vocal mechanism, when sopranos approach the alto range with their soprano technique, the alto part is more in tune because they're not using so much chest resonance. So going, that creates problem. As if you go, I cannot do head tones low, but you get into your soprano range, and this is what is the way the mechanism should do. So that explains a lot of the poor altos singing out of tune or having this sound, is because they were told too young to sing altos and they never developed the top. So you need to develop your top range to approach the alto line, to be able to mix that head tone with your chest tone a little bit. And that will help a lot. But of course you'll have altos that will say, I can never sing that high, so don't put me in the soprano section. But, so that's the trick, is to teach altos as if they were sopranos, so they would keep their ring. They lose a little bit of the ring in their sound. And then they get trapped there, and they don't know how to get out of that because they've done it for 10. I'm a little bit of a product of that. First, I'm not a singer. Second, they thought I was a smoker. Never completed one cigarette in my life yet. So, and then you have a little bit of ear as a kid. It's not a real choir. They put you in alto, and then you're alto for the rest of the life. And then, so I have that still big gap, you know, how to reconcile the two. So I'm kind of a product of that.
Altos, in my experience, altos hate using their head voice. They complain more than sopranos do about what their head voice sounds like. Because I am constantly fighting with my altos to bring their head voice out. And they always tell me how much they hate their head voice.
Well, it doesn't matter. Don't put a feeling. Just do it.
Yeah. Yes. Finally. Yes.
Well, at some point.
But I'm coming home on the next week, and I'm going to tell them you said that too, and I'm not wrong.
It's one for the team. It's one for the team at this point. It's really one for the team. We are positioning ourselves in the field to make the team win. I think. This is what we're trying to do. And it might be just the unknown that we don't like more than I don't like myself that. It might be just the unknown, and learn to make a friend of it. Get to know that new friend. Yeah, I think. Or sing in rounds that go in the high range, so they're not so much aware that they're singing in their high range because it's in a canon. So everyone does it.
Sometimes you have to trick them into not knowing what they're feeling and just say, okay, hold on to that feeling and let's do that with that same feeling again.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you feel good without much semantic? Just how it feels.
Yeah. I thought everyone wanted to be a soprano in life. I guess not. Okay. Okay, and you have a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Well, it's something somewhat related to the altos, but also to the bass. Because I did not grow up with Western singing technique. So I grew up singing folk music, and it's only chest voice, and it can go very high. So as I'm used to very, very low basses that sing C and sometimes down to A, like regularly in church choir, I'm thinking, especially for, you know, if you're a woman, how to approach. Or is there any way to encourage basses, or would it even work in a Western setting to use the chest voice?
I think it depends what kind of music. I think that what you're bringing up is so interesting because depending on the culture you come from or the type of music you sing, it will affect the vocal technique. What is appropriate, for lack of a better word, what is appropriate for that particular choral, cultural choral rep, right? And if we think about a child being born in China, a child being born here, I'm so fascinated about the fact that just the way we hear something, it shapes the muscles. Like why is a little Chinese child picking up the Chinese language and we try and we can't? And how come their muscles is just shaped physically to speak that language? So they're all of that. So vocal technique has to be adapted to the type of music we sing. So perhaps when we sing Rachmaninoff, well, we dig deep in other things, and it's pure chest voice, and it's pure this. I think it depends and we grow up with the culture we are in, so we sing, apparently French people sing very nasal. I don't know. I always thought that Anglophone actually have a nice balance, and I find always Anglophone choirs have a nice natural ring to their voice. And I don't know in the French language if it's the R that is so far back that brings it. You have an answer?
It's the nasal, being bilingual, it's the nasal sound, ang.
Yeah.
And all of those that make a little more nasality.
Yeah, I could see that.
What I was going to say with the other part is my daughter is taking second language teaching at the University of Ottawa.
Oh, can you use a mic?
All comments on the hand,
Sorry.
please.
Yeah, mic.
Thank you.
You're back in the job.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's okay.
Sorry. So hopefully I don't have to start that thought process over because I lost half of it.
The French people sing
the French
with
sounds, there's a
nasality.
lot more nasal sounds, like all of the ang and sounds, and that's where the nasality comes there. But just as a quick other thing is that one of the things I learned from my daughter, who's taking second language teaching at the University of Ottawa, is in her linguistics class they talked about different cultures also have a different adaptation shape of the tongue. And so different sounds are easier for them, and that might transfer over, I don't know. But I found that really interesting that that might affect how different people are going to interpret different sounds as well, and be able to sing them.
Right, because it's purely a question of culture. Why would this vocal technique be better than the others? Of course, we are in a time where Western culture, the privileged culture, is very much, the way to sing and the way to do things. But really, why? There's no reason for that. So when we sing from another cultural background, let's go with that vocal technique. This is what, just like our beautiful Spanish song last night, and Filipino also selection, that was so beautiful, right? And what is his name? Bruce. Wasn't he great?
He was awesome.
Yes. With diction and the precision and the color and the style and the phrasing of those two languages. That was such a good model for us to learn from, so clear, right? So, and changing the vocal techniques for it. So, and now we are with a composition from Ontario, so we go with, I guess, our Western vocal technique. And to know how are we going to sing those low notes, right? So why don't we hear it before we take a break, and then we'll have a little break. Is 15 minutes enough? Yeah, you can just rush downstairs, rush back.
Oh, there's bathrooms here.
Yeah, okay, so you don't need any food or anything like that. Okay, let's stand up and let's hear those beautiful crescendos in the bass line. Why don't you want to switch to text? Yeah, you're ready for text. Yes. Nature with a long N. So, and. Nature's first dream is gold. Thank you. now is the first time we sing with text, right? So we cannot give our attention to the bass section, to the crescendo. Did you?
I heard it.
You heard it? Great, great. So why don't we do that again? So I'm torn. I'm a softie. I know singing DDD for half an hour becomes boring, and you want to do text. But okay, if we do text, let's keep the tempo. So just like you read your newspaper, read ahead. Read ahead. It's in English. Trust yourself and read ahead. Pay attention to those guys. Okay. And nature's first breeze blows, darkness to early of fall. Listen to bass. Did you hear them? Yes. Did you hear some kind of effect? That's something that opens like a flower, actually. Yes. So I find that since I do that, it changes the whole sound of the choir, and then the audience goes, oh my gosh, you know? Yeah, we could hear so much, and da da da. I don't want to put too much emphasis on the bass, you know. Now that we hear the basses, the choir sounds good. But it does. So have, you know, the brightness of the tenors and the depth of the basses. Do you need a break? Do you want a little break?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. Okay. So hi Zoom people, we are having a little break. Talk amongst yourselves.
Stephanie and I were both in the 14th century and I had him, and the night he was there to I lost it words and I paused and Stephanie was doing her voice including to me the next word and I was on the next. So that was how I first got to know Stephanie was working on that. So critical drama. So anyway, the selections for that, the Heidelberg also I did from the University Choir when we first came back after.
I just learned it like this. Yeah, I heard it, but I wasn't able to think of it.
It's very, I started the Elder Choir and we had canceled for a year and we came back and I thought that was a consecutive thing. So then we started in the fall and concert of all many composers, including probably two of Stephanie's favorites. And I'm thinking about
Thunder Bay Symphony Chorus.
whatever. One of those workshops. In the spring, I'm thinking of perhaps a Alice type of northern composer. And there's the little hint of yoiking and stuff in there. Just like a university. Yeah. I want to support, I'm also on the Choirs Ontario board. I want to support anything that's just building musicians. So, and I am absolutely going to Susan Costello. And also Susan Richards from the Institute of Southern said to say hi to me because she came at me.
Yes. Oh, nice. Very nice connection. Well,
it's great, and you may say, this is you, but I always learn from everybody. I mean, that's fun.
I love singing in rehearsals.
And I take my notes.
And I don't know you, but I'm a really good composer, and I will apply to it all the time. I'm really good. I will apply to it. And when you actually use another, but I can't find it. She was, it's a piece of music. I don't
I use it a lot with, let's say, my first year choir, guitar, and
the kitchen you were just like,
different things that I sometimes just for
that was the first thing. No big deal.
and then
I think that's probably
we
probably just thought the same pattern, yes.
and then we decrease it at the end. We just
We had a little
sometimes you don't have much time in the turn or you have a variety of students, so you need to
always have that. Yeah, we have single choirs. What about you? We have one choir.
it will disappear. I mean, when I write in 2010, all the choirs had there was a student. The year I stepped in, it was reduced to one. And now it's just because we don't have time to look at curriculum. And I know that the research department wants to eliminate that first year choir big time. And they don't understand what it brings to students.
Our music majors are required to be in vocal ensemble for 3 years minimum. It used to be 4, but they cut it down to give them
I'm
more
going to bring that.
room for
I
other
will bring that up because your dean was Glenn Carruthers, and that was our dean.
Oh, really? Yeah.
After he went from Lakehead to
Yeah, he's retired now, so.
Glenn Carruthers.
Glenn died.
He died?
Yeah. Glenn died.
Glenn Rose?
Yeah. That was years ago.
1 year and a half.
Yeah, after he retired. I know him when he retired.
No, he retired because he was in palliative.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Brain tumor.
Are you? And where you said you're not from Western? Where are you from originally? Oh, cool.
Yeah, talk about the vocal techniques of Bulgaria.
See, when I think, when we talk about it, sometimes I'm like, and I got into what I it was so difficult for me. I took 7 years of Western voice before I 7 years to be able to like do a possible demonstration.
I've heard some Georgian singing. Now, is Bulgarian singing, folk singing similar to Georgian? Oh, okay. I should hear you sing just Bulgarian singing.
Some people do music Bulgarian voice.
Okay.
And you hear the type of singing. So, and then my teacher would say, one of my last one, use your head voice. So they all use
I'm the one who also works with her too. I'm seeing all the lists, so I'm like, okay, I remember this name. Where was it? This many from the bottom. You know, my friend for you.
when it's physical reference. This is tangible. Use the verb.
It's interesting to talk about the different cultures. My daughter-in-law is Japanese, so I'm teaching myself Japanese. So that when we go to Japan after I retire, and I can actually travel outside of Japan now, because then I can speak to her. Somebody Thursday morning. But listening to Japanese singing, it's very much more nasal, because that's what I'm singing too. The speaking voice is more nasal. So, I've thought about arranging some Japanese songs, but I'm thinking I have to keep that in mind too, the vocal quality that we use for that. I'm Diana and my wife is Deanne. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Many of them, yeah, I have to go down. Wait.
I think I'm going to have to. I was going to talk about it, but I don't think that is going to sound.
No, le nom de la dame qui enseigne à l'université.
Yeah, officially, this is what I have done, and then that's it. But yeah, I know I thought
Except that I didn't bring it. I saw the note from. I didn't bring it from. So I saw the note from Diana. Are you here this afternoon? Are you here this afternoon? Yeah, I'll go. So when at the festival night they said to Nick, "What do we do with it?" And Dawn said, "Should I just give it to you?" Okay, give it to me. So I texted Diana right away, but then they didn't. Somebody. So I'll go up back to the church. Okay, sure. Yeah, but I don't have to have them on Sunday. Might as well get it so that it's Tom is
Anyway, one of my ringers at that.
Yes. So you didn't purchase a ticket? Oh, yes, I purchased a ticket. I have a full ticket
Are these going up or
No,
oh, just here? Okay.
Yes. But my
So I'm just like, so anyway. I can't do it just for you. Yeah. That's good. One person she's young. She might not be up yet. This is true. Yeah, so I've got 12 extras. And I didn't mind it. They're church people, like I see them all the time. Whatever. But, yeah, so that's what I think. There's nothing wrong with that. So we kind of pursue as well. I'm glad. I keep saying that. I like to sing both, but I like that we're going to be on the flat. I don't like the right floor for standing. I might understand on the right foot, so the flat is good for me. But I like singing in a circle. I like hearing all parts. So yeah, I'm happy. It's good. It'll be fun. It's nice to sing with a good reading.
Today we have a very scary
I have to read that. Why is it scary?
So she has identified. Well, we did a lot last night. Serious.
I'm a very quick and efficient.
You are? Okay. She's very good at
I keep things moving along.
because I saw already 1 hour and a half.
There's no way.
1 hour and a half.
45 minutes.
Okay.
Unless somebody brings something up that I don't know about, which has happened. There was one meeting that thought it was derailed that way, but usually I think I was in for 5 minutes. We're going to be quick. That's where we were.
I know, I like the more interesting.
We had somewhere to go.
You did. You're a Michigan friend. You can bug me about napkins. I'll send you my music. And yes. Of course. Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, I'm going to ask this lady here, because apparently she's a choral teacher. Yeah. And I'm curating a show in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
For which I was a carte blanche. So hired a performer, songwriter.
Yep.
Let's recommend it. So, the thing is, the problem is, I know roses.
Yep.
But they're all concentrated in Greater Montreal area and some. Let's see something new. They probably feel the same way. I know they know the colleagues who we went to school with. Normal. And then so like the middle part is missing it. You know, U.S. composers quite fun. Oh, see, I'll ask her recommendation. Okay. I'm also
But most people are kind
but if you because I'm
And then the front row had stage. I said it's okay. I will hold it
We are back. May the fourth be with you, and also the 3/4 and the 8th. Yeah. Please slowly make your way back, or quickly would be even better. That would be good.
We are back, and I will ask you to take your music and your pencil, whatever you have, and let's be in a circle this time. It would be good to see each other. So we'll start. The first row of sopranos can stay there. Sopranos can continue to be here. Altos, the first row can stay there in the pews, and then we'll have more altos here. And after the altos, we'll have basses and we'll have tenors.
Where did she say to go? I wasn't listening.
There.
You're good.
Sopranos. Sopranos are all here, and altos are all there. Now I don't remember this. Oh, like that. Okay. So I'm trying to create a circle. Perhaps we have too many chairs. It's hard to tell. So if we could feel the others people coming back.
Yes.
That's the reason. Okay, so some will go get them, right? I guess. Something will happen. I would like that we might come back to this piece, but I would like us to move on to a little piece called Come.
Just we have one person excluded, so that's what I'm trying to include. I'm trying to draw the circle wide.
Well, we can move here. We can even a soprano would be by herself there, but we can have that happen.
Oh, we need two.
Yeah, especially if we have two, it's okay to we can have those two chairs closer here and have sopranos done here. Yes. No. No. We are going to, I think you might have that in your package, Come. No. That didn't come to you. That didn't come to you. Diana. Okay, you don't have that. Okay. Then. What other pieces do you have?
We have the Hummingbird. Is that chair?
Okay, and Song of the Earth. Okay, well, let's go to Song of the Earth, I think.
I'll go here. There's a piano. Yeah, this is good.
So I will tell you what I wanted to do with Come. We'll do it this afternoon, but for our conductors here, I just wanted to illustrate the importance of the initial consonants to give energy to your line. So this and Come is more simple than Song of the Earth. Well, we'll try to do the same with Song on the Earth, and also with Come we might. It was a conducting thing to make sure that we can all beat. Well, why don't we do that? Put your music down. You can stay seated, because there was a conducting thing I wanted to bring that I just want to check if everyone is comfortable with that. So even seated, are you too crammed in? We could have, what is her name? Karen? We could have her sit in the alto section, sing with the soprano if you're too crammed in. Oh, okay. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm not. Not anymore. I thought there were 2 spots there. So let's go with our 2-beat pattern. Yes, you're good with that? Gee, you have short memories. Gosh, what should lead? The third finger. Well, come on, do it. The third goes down, the third goes up, the elbow follows. So the elbow is not initiating and it's not moving all in a block. The third finger is the one that does the most of the movement, and you just keep a good, nice opening here. Okay, rest from that. The reason why you want to keep an opening between your elbow and your body is that will help create your sound. As if you are all restricted like that, your choir will sound like that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes? Oh, use the microphone. Even if it's quick, it's not fun for those on Zoom. Yeah, thank you.
Do you think as conductors should sing? Is it possible to be a good conductor and sing?
You mean sing with your sections?
Well, maybe help other people sometimes too. Like, I know that's totally wrong, but yeah, mostly with my section, the sopranos. But sometimes I help the tenors with the note I know they're not going to get. But it's
I was taught not to, and since my teacher is not there anymore, I do what I want. So I put those rules and all of that, in some ways I consider, but out of the window, I go with what my choir needs. Okay. That's always my basic rule. With gestures, what is my choir up to or able to, without keeping them at that level all the time, right? They need to be challenged, but then you decide, in this particular very difficult phrase, is it the time to challenge them or not? Right? So I will support, and we talk about tenors. Why? Because in my situation, they're coming out of their voice change, they haven't sung ever in a choir, they are timid, they are not confident. Why do I would put more pressure on them? They have most likely the most difficult part of the choir with the least amount of vocal technique. I think they deserve support, because none of us would like to be in that situation, to be just 2 or 3 sopranos on front of everyone all the time and carry the whole thing. So I don't mind, but I don't do it all the time. No, at some point, yeah, just to get them going. What I did once, because I thought I could not even supplement to them and others and all of that, from my own pocket, I just hired a tenor that was just coming to sing with them. So, okay, problem solved. They have their pillar, and the rehearsal moves. And I find that's one of the best investment, because it's less pressure on you, and they feel supported, they grow, the tenor section grows, and they're confident, and it's solved. So I just go with what is needed. That's why I put the bass section by the piano. Then I don't have to sing. I cannot sing it in that range, but at least they get a good support, and the choir rehearsal can move. And I also try to not use the piano too much when it's possible, and not always support them with the piano. Yeah, yeah. And because it's a school situation that I'm in, let's say we are in circles like that, I ask them, oh, who wants to sing in quartets? Then you know who knows their music and who don't, who doesn't know their music, right? Because you have pleasure in singing in quartets. So that's my way to verify who has worked on their music. But for church choir, it's more delicate. But perhaps on few things you could put them in octet, where they would develop that teamwork with somebody else and be singing in an octet, a little group. Or I put you in a circle like that. If the music is difficult, I put them in 4 circles. So they reinforce each other. And then I look ridiculous in the middle, helping that section, and going all around. Just like for the conductor, teaching in a circle is very difficult and very, you know, it's not easy because you're always in the back of someone else. But for the choir, I think it's beneficial. I think yes. So in circles, I can go and sing with the tenors, and then and have the bass around the piano. So I find things, and usually soprano and alto section, they will be most likely able to work on their own, right? And then you open the circle and bring them back like that. I find that it's fun for them also to reinforce their sound and hear just their sound. And they perhaps can all, for once, it would be allowed to tap the beat, because it's not always allowed to tap the beat, right? You don't want your choristers to tap their feet, right? But if that's the purpose, then they can hear if they're together or not. So that can be useful. So this is why. And us, I would like that we have time in a nucleus to conduct each other. That's why we'll see what we can do with the space. But what I wanted to do, just a little touch of conducting with the 2-beat pattern, was to make sure that you can start the choir on the downbeat of a 2-beat pattern and start the choir on the second beat, on the anacrusis, which can be tricky sometimes. But you're more advanced than I anticipated, which is beautiful. So let's do our 2-beat patterns. Don't move yet. And every 2 bar, ta, we'll just cue. Okay, yeah, join me. But have a nice posture, so you're really conducting. Or stand up, but you're all squeezed. One or the other. So ready? 1, 2, ta. 1, 2, ta. Breathe just before. Here, breathe. Ta. Breathe again. Ta. Look far. Ta. Are you leading with the 3rd finger? Ta. Do you have the space between the ta, the elbow, and your body? Check all of that. Okay, good. Now, can you start on the 2nd beat, which will look like 1, 2, breathe, ta. So can we say that and have our hands going? Here we go. 1, 2, breathe, ta. 1, 2, breathe, ta. 1, 2, breathe, ta. Extend your arm really far. Ta. 1, 2, ta. Okay, you're all pretty much able to do that. That sometimes can be a little tricky. That's all. Very good. Yes. So let's take this Song of the Earth. So this is something that we will do this afternoon. And I don't know much of the background, unfortunately, but some people filled me in. I knew that it was coming from a movie called Frozen. Yes. It is a Finnish composer. And that composer, I understand, has done more music for films and film scores and all of that than choir music, I think. So this is as much as I know. And it is using a little bit of the York technique, which is a folk expression of the Finnish culture. And if you want to use it with your church choir, you will find later in the text that it has a nice combination of the York kind of idiom with fairest Lord Jesus, ruler of all nature, there will I cherish thee, will I honor thou my soul's glory joy.
Oh, excuse me, Andrée, we're missing pages. That's my fault. We only have odd number pages. Let's focus on people.
Okay. Isn't that great to do this now rather than this afternoon? That's great. I'm very happy. Good. Good. Well, it would have been sad, right? We would have caught up, but good. Okay, why don't we work on the first page? Yes.
That's great.
The front page.
Back to the base.
Yes. Well, it's good for all of us. So, I don't know how you teach text to your choir, so perhaps we can explore that. How do we teach text to your choirs? This is like a non-syllable text, which is a tongue twister. And so I tend to do these things very, very slowly, such as na-na, na-he-ana. Can we say that? Ha-na, oops, na-he-ana. So I will repeat it. It's na-na, na-he-ana. Again? Na-na, na-he-ana. Yes. And now we will do na-na-na-he-ana. Here we go. Na-na-na-he-ana. Right. So I find that if I try to teach the expression and the shape right away, then it's easier. Then we know it. And we always respond the same way. So now even our second na, we can prolong it a little bit, make it more legato, more connected. Na, 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 hey, na. Here we go. Na, 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 hey, na. Excellent. And then, hani, ya, na. Let's say that. Ani, ya, na. Do you need the second page? The digital one doesn't include the odd pages?
No, even.
Oh. That's okay. I didn't know that's what, yes. Yes, I think I have one copy with all the copies. Oh yes, I have a copy with all, but it's back to back. Is that okay?
Just make sure Christmas afternoon too.
This is very weird. 3. Because mine does that too. That's very weird. But this one is complete. Okay. So we are doing, whoops. I hope it's not in their ears, poor guys. Okay, so the second one, what I teach to my singers is to read words, not just syllables. So I definitely will have them go hani, ya'a, na'a. So let's say that like that. Hani, ya'a, na'a. Yes. So when after that, when they go hani, ya'a, na'a. Can we say it this way? Here we go. Hani, ya'a, na'a. Right, very good. So when we start from the beginning, na 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 hey na hani ya na. Let's try right from the top. Na 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 hey na hani ya na. Very good. So I find that the way we learn it is important, not to get confused. And then na hey na. Can we just say that? Here we go. We continue. And now na hey na. And again na hey na. Ya no. Just a little N. Here we go. Ya no. So if I go from measure 5, na hey na. Ya no. Here we go. Na hey na. Ya no. And then hana heo. Let's say that, please. Hana heo. Once more. Hana heo. And then hana heo no ana. All that. Hana heo no ana. And then we go on. Very good. Now can we say it all? Here we go. Na 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 hey na ha ni ya na and breathe. Na hey ana ya no ha na hey o no ana. Great. Let's stand up and sing that. So we'll go slowly. Here and breathe. Na, 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 oh no, we're going very slowly. We're going very slowly. It's slower than your ability. I know you are ready to go quicker, but I want to make sure that we have a high rate of success. So once more. No, not quicker than that. Here and breathe. Na, 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 hey, na, ha, ni, na, na, hey, na, ya, no, ha, na, oh, no, na. Yes, you're really good. But are your choirs as advanced as you are? Okay. So we're going at a speed for your choir, not for you. This is what we're doing. Which vowel comes back the most? Ah. So as conductors, think about how do you want that ah to sound like? Can you think about it? Now that you have a concept, let's do it again from the beginning. Think about it, read the music, and listen around to you and see if you like that ah or not. Ready? Here we go. Na, 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 hey, na, ha, ni, na, na, hey, hey, na, na, hey, oh, no, yes, that ah was much better. I don't know if you know that, but I can tell you, it was much better. Do you know what changed? It had some height, a lot of height in your ah. So this is what you will want to ask of your choir, right? And where did you have to make the most effort to keep that nice ah?
When it goes down.
Excuse me?
When it goes down.
When it goes down, that's certainly one area. And another one? On long notes. So not to lose it. So with singers of less experience, they will just kind of collapse in their mouth. And you don't want that. You want that until the end. And it is well known that when we go down, that soft palate starts to come down, and then our ah. So you need to give that shape and your spin. And I have them do that in the choir. And the other thing that I do is I would either have a chord on the piano to support that descent of 5 notes, or even just the tonic. So can you play a G, please? Bum, and you can just repeat it, so they can have that goal in mind as they do. So here we go, you and I. And yes, so I can have a section, hold that pitch, and the other parts sing against it. I do a lot of that, so it makes them both very aware of how to support their sound for tuning. So here, yeah, and the speed, it's easier to sing quicker, isn't it, than slow. So if I go, na, 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 hey, na, it's harder to keep my shape than na, 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 hey, na, na, ha, ya, na. So let's try a little quicker. What is our D? G, please. Here we go. Na 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 hey ya na, honey ya na, na hey ya no, honey no. That's very good. That's very good. Now, if you happen to have a pencil, make markings in your own score, or remember by memory how you would like this line to sound. Because in a minute, if we can, I will ask you to be in small groups and conduct it with the phrasing you want in that two beat meter. So take notes of where you think that it should be sustained, where you think is the peak of the phrase, and all of these little things. Here we go. What is our G? Thank you. And breathe. Na, 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 hey, na, na, hey, also leads to something, another topic kind of conducting styles. So do you always conduct with your proper technique and always with a 2-beat pattern, or do you sometimes vary the way you conduct with just going with the phrasing, or just to get the energy out, right? So you probably would go, well, I don't know it by memory, so I have to refer to my page. But perhaps to get the energy out, you would go more something like, na na hey na ha di da di dum pa ha hi da ba, and perhaps revert after that to something less extrovert. Is that what you would do? Something, maybe. So this is something to think about, I find, with different styles of music. I would not go and conduct some gospel music with my 4-beat pattern. No, that's not part of the tradition. So I look very much at the tradition of the music and decide what will be my style of conducting. And many times, if there was no conductor, well, I'm not going to be there even. I can coach, or I'm going to have a style a little bit direct, like if I would direct, just lead a jazz band. You know, you just go, I don't know, what do they say? 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they go fire up the music and then go, and then boom, and they just go like that, right? So because that's that kind of music, I'm not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't belong to that tradition. So without being pretentious, I try to insert myself in the music tradition, the choral tradition, and borrow that style of conducting. I find it's much more, musically, it's much more satisfying. You're closer to the phrasing of that music. So this will be a mixture, probably, of something more folky, and later on in the piece, something more classical music oriented, if I can say. So you can vary the styles of conducting that you want. So let's learn a little bit. If you want, you could hold your music in one hand and kind of feel how you would conduct that. What is our G there? Here and breathe. Na 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 hey na na honey na na hey na hey na no. Yes, and it's like everything else. You know, we practice our choir part. We might need to practice our conducting. For example, the beginning. Combination of needing the energy of your choir but starting soft. So it will be a small gesture. So let's start with a small gesture And for the first note, you don't need your score, so you can look further and be able to do. So let's start with a small gestures and a quick breath. I'm going to say 1, 2, and the next 1, 2 you will read on 2. So 1, 2, 1. Yes, so now let's do the same with a crescendo, somehow. So 1, 2, 1. Crescendo. Yes, good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Very good, very good, good. And it's a little bit, I mean, you need some time. I need some time to absorb a piece. I need a lot of time to be comfortable in my body with the piece. I cannot just kind of go and pretend. So, and definitely I would need more time to conduct this by memory or to do a good job with my conducting. Do you need a hand? You're almost done? The copy that I gave you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so now can we put a crescendo in there? It doesn't have to be with proper technique, whatever, but you want to convey na na hey na. How can you convey that? Ha na na hey na. Can you learn that by memory? Na 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 hey na. You're right. So study it 1 second. The first bar is all with N. Na na na. And second bar is hey ana. So here we go. And let's do it just with your left hand. Here we go. Na 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 hey ana. Just with your left hand. Yeah. Here we go. Na 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 hey ana. Yes, yes. Do and see for yourself. Do you need to put all your body there or just hey? Okay. Once more. Na, na, hey, na. Yes. Good. Perfect. Okay. So why don't I think it would be fun to find a way. I see 1, 2, 3 music stands. This can kind of act as a music stand. We could have like a little group here. We could have a little group there with the music stand there if you can get organized. So that's 2 groups. Yes. And there's one all the way there. So if we can break into little groups. And what I would like you to practice is the departure with a small intense breath and gesture for na. With that. So not something big, na na, because it's not forte. Na na. And then go with your left hand. So you can conduct each other and the other ones will respond to you. So let's do that. So we have this. So we can have a group over here. If you can somehow position yourself there. We can have If we would have tenors go up the stairs there and be there, or tenor, okay, and basses you can be here, and if you don't need, you can use the table perhaps as a music stand. And then we have 2 stands. Yeah, you conduct a little group of 2 or 3. Yeah, so we can put a stand here with people kind of standing there. That's another group. We can have a group there, so as a conductor here. Oh, you don't need to. Yes. So you can be, it doesn't matter if you're not in sections. So you conduct each other. There's 1 conductor and 3 people responding. Oh, c'est elle qui dirige. Comme ça. So we need people in this group. We need people in this group. And I think that, Dawn, if you face this way, if you come here, yes, and they are there, there will be more room for them. Or whatever you think is good. Yes. Yes, for you. Yes.
I get it.
I didn't explain it.
Well, no,
And if you move there a little bit, yes. And if you come, if I can position that for you, like that. You lost someone? Yeah, you're the choir. And I'm going to go around and watch that. Ready? That's good. Do you want to try with doing more with your arm and keep your body just quiet? Try. And we can have even this a little like that and a little like that. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes, and you don't need to use your hand rather than your head. That's the keyboard thing, right? You can look at them, or you don't need to. Right. Oh, I missed you. Can you do it again? Can you do it again? I missed you. Can you do it again? Wow, yeah, I understand. Well, when I learned to read, to sing, I thought we were going, and it's the opposite. So I didn't learn the right thing at the beginning. But what you can do with your choir, you don't have to be all entangled with all of that kind of stuff. As long as you give them a breath in tempo, that's all you need. You can just go and go like that. Try that, just to keep the beat going. That's all they need, really. That's too fancy. Yeah. Can we do, you feel the beat? Do you feel the tempo in your cell? Pa, 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 pa. So what we'll do, we'll go, and then it will start. Ready? Yes, you have the beat now. Yeah, you just beat. No. This is better. Good. Good. You want to do something so fancy. You must be a very refined person because you want to do things very fancy. Can we just keep the beat? Can we just go like if we tap the music? Let's tap the music with your right hand. Yes. Okay, remember that beat? Now just do this. Tom, tom in the air. Tom, tom. Now we breathe. Here we go. Da, no, no, ni, no. Nothing fancy. Da, no, no. Good. You see how solid you are with the beat? That's great. It's clearer, yeah. Because, yeah, it's less fancy. Everyone, everyone, everyone. Somebody else. Yeah, that's very energetic and very rhythmical. Good. I missed the beginning. Can you redo the beginning?
14, and they had, it was like the opening piece of the concert.
Good. Okay. Good. So your name is Tom. So what Tom is showing is that in the time that we had, he had time to have a very clear concept of the phrasing. So now he's able to show it very precisely. So this is where the work of a conductor begins, is the concept of it and the ideas of phrasing, and then you put it in your body, right? And I think you have a big choir, right? Yes. So you could think about the downbeat more as a release, just for the voices to even resonate. So let's do that. A little bit more. Hey, a little bit more release. And you can open your arm a little bit bigger. It's because it's the instrument you play. That's why. I have students who are trumpet majors, so they breathe like that because they lift the instrument like that. I have pianists who conduct like that because they play piano. So whatever instrument we play, we bring that to the podium. So you're not using a lot of gestures, just what you need. But for conducting, opening your arm like that, that's the way you hold the sound. Even if it's soft, so even if it's soft, you could do small gestures but be more here, like my gestures are not very big, but they're not as close to me. But doesn't mean that you cannot bring them close to you ever. I'm not saying that either. Right? So open your frame when you begin. And depending on your personality, if for you, you're not an extrovert person, it's like, why do I put myself out there? There can be, depending on your personality. Yes. You want to try? A little bit more open?
So starting from here.
Good. That's interesting how it makes you not go slower.
My gesture is actually during that rest.
Oh! No, you don't have to. I just want you to be feeling relaxed here. Feeling relaxed, loose. And let them do it. Let them do it. Let's see what they will come up with.
Kind of bring you back in.
Open. Here. In the hands.
So make sure that your hands come
a little bit, yeah. To open the sound. Yeah. Try that. I mean, I know your choir is not very big.
Right. So you got the timing right here.
I'm wanting to come in on that.
Right. So your hands, you have to do your downbeat on the
right. Yes. And you see, you go after rhythm, which is a very vivid piece, right? So when we'll come in the other section, see how you want to add to your lyrical. Okay, I'm gonna have to go look after these people too. I'll catch you. We have another. Okay, how's it going here? Good. Let me see.
So when you conducted it the last time, it was really clear here. And I think maybe right around there, you kind of reversed your gestures.
That's very good. You have a steady tempo. Good.
Do it with me.
I will destroy this before the end of the day. Okay, let's see if we can relax a little bit. Pa, pa, pum, 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 pum. Do you want to start again? We'll do it together. 1, 2.
Whatever.
Da, na, na, hey. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yes, very good. So the first thing you want to do,
And I do a little flick of the wrist.
isn't it until 12:30 I was told?
It's just scary that you're seeing through instead of
Oh, I thought, oh.
my cord is getting longer and longer.
True.
Yes. Yeah.
Sound and everything, yeah.
Down, up.
I think it was
We didn't start at 9:30. We started like 9:45.
This one is.
Okay, good people, come back down, please. Come back down, good people. Okay, I didn't see everyone conduct. You know what? I thought we were on until 12:30. You're right. Yeah, and we started at 9:45 or something. Did you experiment some things? Yes? Look, they're still doing overtime. Good. Okay, so, well, I'm very happy to see those that I saw. I think that we worked on few things, and I hope that by yourselves also you were able to experiment few things, right? In your handouts, you have things that you can review for yourself, that I think that just by reading it, you will just go, oh yes, of course, oh yes, of course, oh yes, of course. So you will have a lot of moments of, oh yes, of course, which is good. So you can just review that. Sometimes I like to go back to my notes of my school, especially in August, because I'm thinking, oh, how do we do this? Conduct a choir, or how do I do a rehearsal? And sometimes just reading an article, anything, and then all the wheels start to turn and go, oh yes, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. And then I'm really motivated to spend some time with the score. I love spending, it's kind of, I always travel with a score. And novel, let's say you fly, I always have a score. I need good company. I need some music to look at all the time, all the time. So hopefully, yes, you develop liking looking at scores and listening to a lot of music. Listen to a lot, and go to concerts. It's very inspiring. So yeah, our time was so short, but good. I'm happy that we've done that. And I will refer to some things this afternoon, sorry.